according to Billy Joe and his team, they agreed on a 24-foot ring. The ring was measured, I'm assuming. Turns out it's a 20-foot ring. Now, Billy Joe threatened to not fight. Him and his team said if the ring issue is not resolved, that they won't fight. Now, Barack, I know this is Billy Joe's biggest payday. And I'm not saying that he's in it only for the money, but this is prize fighting, right? And this is the biggest opportunity he's ever had in his career. He's already in Texas, right? So, are we really gonna have Billy Joe Saunders pull out of this fight and fly back to the UK? I highly doubt it. In my opinion, it's more mental strategy. And to be honest with you, it creates more dialogue, more drama surrounding the fight. People have something to talk about now. Billy Joe might not fight. The ring is not what they agreed on. All of that traction online creates more awareness to the fight. So I believe it's more about publicity, there's more mind games. There's no way in hell Billy Joe is not fighting on Saturday night.
It might have been a principle. It might be like he's already feeling frustrated how his promoter is not really on his side. I don't know why he needs the promoter on his side. Because this is a business, this is not friendships here. I think, but I do understand if you feel like you're not being backed by the guy who works for you. I get it, you know? So I think maybe this is just the straw that broke the camel's back. Like, all right, that's it. If it's even true that he agreed to a 24-foot ring. Because we don't know that. Just because he said it doesn't mean that that's true. You know, so, but at the end of the day, I mean, they just brought us to a roller coaster. It could be psychological warfare, maybe. You know, but when you ask around and you see what people are saying, I spoke to Bryant Jennings earlier today, and he's a heavyweight. He's a smaller heavyweight who you think he would, you know, like a bigger ring so he could move around against the bigger guys. And he says himself, 24 is ridiculous. That is way too big. 20 is reasonable. I seen Jamel Charlo's live on IG. He's saying, man, you worrying about the size of the ring. You're scared. You don't want that smoke from Canelo. So that's the opinion of boxers.
Some people are taking his statement serious, and John Ryder is one of those guys because he's flying to Texas in case Billy Joe does step down. He wants that opportunity with Canelo Alvarez. Get in line, John Ryder. There are a lot of super middleweights that would take that opportunity if they got that call right now to get the opportunity and the big payday. But I don't think John Ryder is going to get the opportunity, though that was a great gesture, kind of like what Andy Ruiz sent over to Eddie Hearn. But it's not going to happen, John. I'm sorry. Now, Barack, but in reality, is 2 feet going to make a difference for this particular fight? No. And I said it earlier this week. I just feel like Canelo has really learned how to cut the ring off. I don't think the 2 feet difference is going to allow Billy Joe to kind of have a better defensive game plan because of the size of the ring. Maybe psychologically, so, he'll feel better. I have more room to lean back, to turn, to pivot, and whatnot. But Canelo's upset. Listen, they had a little, not an altercation, but Billy Joe's team was in the lobby in the hotel as Canelo walked by, and there was some words that were exchanged and profanity that I won't repeat. But Canelo was upset because somebody made a statement about the ring and said something derogatory to Canelo. He responded back with that same energy. So looks like Canelo's also getting a little frustrated with the ring talk. And he also went on to say, listen, this is, they're creating excuses. There's no issue. This fight is going to happen. There's no ring issue. And he's ready to show Billy Joe that he's just going to do the job regardless of the size of the ring.
Yeah, basically Canelo saying, I don't care about the ring. Whatever, it's 2 feet. Whatever, let's just fight. Does it make a difference? If it makes a difference psychologically for Billy Joe Saunders, then it's enough. It's enough for him, and that's what's important because this whole thing is a mind game. This whole thing is mental. You need to go in there confident, and if that's what makes you more confident, then by all means, fight for it. But you fight but so much. There's no way you're going back home and you didn't take this fight because of 2 feet difference. No. Let me tell you something. One thing he mentions all the time on his videos, on interviews, whatever, he's a what? he's a gypsy, and how tough they are, how resilient they are, how they're not scared of anything. No way you going back to the UK with your gypsy pride because of 2 feet. You're getting ridiculed by even gypsies probably. You know, I don't see everybody supporting you, saying like Tyson Fury did and saying, yeah, well, give the man his fair shake. Asking for a 24-foot ring is not a fair shake. That's nice. It's a perk, but it's not a fair shake. A regular ring is 20 feet. Even Floyd Mayweather, who is known as a mover, as a boxer, when he fought Manny Pacquiao, that was a 20-foot ring.
You know, and yes, I do agree with you to a certain extent where psychologically, if it helps you, it helps, right? It's worth it. But at the end of the day, in this fight, he is going to have to scrap. He's going to have to fight. He's going to be in moments, whether he was at a 24-foot ring, 20-foot ring, 22-foot ring, where the only way he's going to win this fight is to actually fight and beat Canelo. And the ring is going to have nothing to do with those moments, in my opinion. All right, but
I don't know. He's a mover. You know, he's a boxer. He's a very, very skillful fighter, Billy Joe Saunders.
Yeah,
you know,
but I'm saying moving for 12 rounds straight, I don't think is going to get him a decision. He's going to have moments in that fight where he exchanges. I'm not saying go to war. I'm saying he's going to have to fight and keep Canelo honest. In order to keep a guy honest, you got to stick your foot on that canvas and throw some punches. Moving and throwing the entire fight, I don't think it's going to get him the decision. So my point being is that he's going to have to scrap to win this fight. And I think that all these shenanigans about the ring, I don't think it's even that serious to Billy Joe's team. I do think it's more about principle, if indeed they agreed on a 24-foot ring.